Everyone remembers A Space Odyssey or Planet of the Apes, but there are other sci-fi films from the 60s that don't get as much attention. Some were strange, some low budget, and some just got lost over time. Still, they're worth your time in 2025. Seconds was directed by John Frankenheimer, already an established Hollywood filmmaker. It featured top talent, cinematography by James Wong Howe, and a haunting score by Jerry Goldsmith. Rock Hudson played against type and gave a surprisingly intense performance. Some scenes were shot in a real slaughterhouse. Frankenheimer later said it made him stop eating steak. The film follows Arthur Hamilton, a 50-year-old banker in a loveless marriage. He's contacted by a mysterious organization that offers him a new life. After surgery and a staged death, he becomes a different man, a painter named Antiochus Wilson, now living in Malibu. At first, things seem perfect, but doubts return, and when he tries to go back, he uncovers a terrifying truth. The film failed on release. Hudson's fans weren't ready for something this dark, and art house viewers didn't expect him at all. But today, Seconds feels surprisingly modern. Its themes of identity, second chances, and feeling lost still resonate, and the questions it raises about happiness and starting over remain just as unsettling now. In Jean-Luc Godard's Alphaville, emotions are outlawed, and showing them in public is a crime. Secret agent Lemmy Caution arrives in the city on a mission to find a missing agent, eliminate the city's creator, and destroy Alpha 60, a powerful computer that controls every part of life in Alphaville. Though the story takes place in the future, the film uses no special effects or futuristic props. It was shot entirely on location in Paris, with real buildings and night streets standing in for the cold, controlled world of the city. What makes Alphaville stand out is how it blends science fiction with film noir, combining a futuristic setting with familiar images from the 20th century. Directed by Joseph Losey, The Damned starts off like a British teen gang film. A group of leather-jacketed bikers, led by Oliver Reed, roams the seaside town of Weymouth, but the story quickly shifts into darker territory. An American tourist and a young woman from the gang accidentally uncover a hidden military base. Inside, they find a group of irradiated children being raised in isolation, prepared to survive a nuclear apocalypse. Losey wasn't interested in science fiction, but he ended up making one of Britain's most haunting sci-fi films. Hammer Films, a studio best known for its horror movies, thought the film was too bleak and shelved it for 2 years, releasing it later in a cut version. This is another science fiction film from Hammer, and probably their most accomplished contribution to the genre. Quatermass in the Pit is the third film featuring Professor Quatermass, a scientist drawn into strange and dangerous discoveries. During construction at a London tube station, workers uncover a mysterious object. The army believes it's an unexploded bomb from World War II, but Quatermass thinks it's something far older, a buried alien spacecraft from Mars. He believes it was sent millions of years ago to influence human evolution by blending alien and human DNA. The film mixes science fiction with ancient myth, suggesting that alien interference may be behind old stories of ghosts, demons, and the supernatural. Despite its modest effects, the film's ambition and eerie atmosphere still make it one of the most original sci-fi movies of the 1960s. La Jetée is a 1962 short film by French filmmaker Chris Marker. Just 28 minutes long, it tells a post-apocalyptic time travel story using only still photographs and voiceover narration. After a nuclear war, the few survivors live underground beneath Paris. Scientists begin time travel experiments, hoping to find help in the past or future. One man is chosen, and as he moves through time, he faces paradoxes, haunting memories, and the dark nature of humanity. Despite its experimental form, La Jetée is more than just a rarity. It's a story people return to even after the surprise of the ending fades. The film's structure is simple, but its emotional and philosophical impact is powerful. Marker, known for constantly pushing the limits of film, created something unique, a science fiction film made of still images that still feels alive. For many, La Jetée is not only a milestone in sci-fi, but a masterpiece of cinema itself. The Day the Earth Caught Fire is a 1961 disaster sci-fi film written and directed by Val Guest. After a series of nuclear tests by the US and the Soviet Union, the Earth is knocked off its axis. The result is global chaos, massive earthquakes, deadly heat waves, and raging fires across cities. As the world spirals out of control, scientists come up with a risky plan to fix it: detonate more nuclear bombs. The film mixes classic 1960s sci-fi with sharp political and social commentary. The science is far from accurate, but the story is tense and the filmmaking strong. The disaster effects are surprisingly convincing for the time, and the ambiguous ending leaves a lasting impression. Though praised on release, this one often flies under the radar, but it's absolutely worth watching. Robinson Crusoe on Mars is exactly what the title promises, a sci-fi take on the classic survival story, this time set on the Red Planet. Directed by Byron Haskin, the film follows Commander Kit Draper, who crash lands on Mars after dodging a meteoroid. Stranded and alone except for a monkey named Mona, he must learn how to survive in a harsh alien world. As Draper explores the planet, he eventually meets Friday, an escaped slave, and the story takes a new turn. Shot in California's Death Valley, the Martian landscapes are striking, and the film's bold use of color sets it apart from many low-budget sci-fi films of its time. While the story sticks to familiar adventure beats, Paul Manti holds the screen almost entirely alone for much of the runtime. It's a strange but entertaining film, with a creative twist on a well-known tale. Before The Hunger Games and The Purge, there was The 10th Victim, a sci-fi satire directed by Elio Petri. This 1965 film centers on the Big Hunt, a deadly game where people take turns as hunter and victim. Those who survive 10 rounds win money and fame. In one match, things don't go as planned. Emotions, public image, and social pressure start to interfere, turning the chase into something more complicated than survival. With bold visuals, pop art style, and sharp commentary on media and consumerism, The 10th Victim remains a strange, stylish, and relevant film even today.